and welcome back to Dream Queen by Perla. So we have Leo, Virgo, Cusp. Cry me a river. There's a situation in your life that you're just saying, well, go ahead and cry me a river. I don't care. Um, something ended in a very abrupt way. Whether it was like, you went into work and you got fired, somebody just broke up with you, somebody just stopped talking to you, um, something just ended, like boom. It was like no warning, no notice, no incline. There was no inclination that this was ending. There was no inclination that things were going bad. It was just like one day you woke up and it was gone. Um, Now, whatever it was that ended wants to come back around, whether it was a person. It could have been that maybe you may have for a very long time had self-image or self-confidence issues, and all of a sudden you're feeling very confident about yourself. You're feeling very empowered and stuff like that. And the confidence issues are trying to come in, like either through people commenting or something like that. And you're like, oh, no, we're not doing that. So again, it doesn't necessarily have to be a person, but there's something that ended almost abruptly, that ended without warning, and now all of a sudden it wants to creep back in. Now, one of the examples that I can use is years ago, I became a vegetarian for like about a year, and then I became a vegan. And it was nothing that was done intentionally. And to me, that would be something that was abrupt, right? Even though it happened through a period of time. It wasn't until I went out to eat one day, and I was asking, I think I was having like a salad. I don't remember what, I think it was a salad. But I was asking for very specific things in my salad. And everyone at the table, it was a group of girls, they looked at me and they're like, are you vegan? And I looked at them and I was like, no. And then I kind of like was like, wait. And then I started to like backplay like the last year, the last 2 years, and like the last 3 years of my life. And I'm like, I am. But again, it was nothing that I did intentionally. It was something that, and it was even before I got into this, I've always had my gifts and stuff, but I wasn't, I never really would call, like, I just did whatever came to me. I've always listened, let's put it this way, to my higher self without realizing that that's what it was. I just did whatever I felt like doing, right? Or whatever felt right. So I've always talked about, like, even before I got into doing a channel or anything like that, I've always talked about, like, well, that doesn't feel right. Oh, well, that makes my body feels like this, or that makes my body, So, by the end, by the time we were done eating, I was like, oh, God, yeah, I guess I am a vegan, right? And it is what it is. And then years later, like when I went through the whole issue with my diagnosis and leaving work and all of that stuff, the eating meat and eating animal products creeped back in, and I allowed it back in. I was in a very depressed state in my life that lasted longer than what I wanted it to, let's put it this way, because it was something I should have prepared myself for, let's just put it that way. But it creeped back in, and then slowly again, right, spirit started leading me to that vegetarian, to that vegan life. And now it's like, I'll catch myself, like, where it's not even a desire from my body so much wanting meat or wanting animal products. It's more because it's like, it's what's available. So whenever, like, I hang out with other people, whenever I'm out or whatever, like, it's very, when I order for certain things or I eat certain things, people look at me like I'm a little like out there, like, well, you're trying to save the animals, this and this and that. You know what, I feel like everybody and everything should have the right to live, even plants, but I eat them, right? Everything has energy regardless of anything. But personally, for me, my body is not in alignment with eating animal products. Now, is it something that is going to be permanent? I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is like sometimes I will like, make certain things for the kids and I'll just sit there I'm like, yo, that looks so good. Like that cheeseburger looks like, because I used to love cheeseburgers, I'm not gonna lie, right? I'll be there, I'm like, yo. And then I'll just be like, my body will just be like, you're not eating that. Like, we're gonna make you go through hell if you eat that, right? And again, it's not something that I battle like every single day or anything like that, but it is something that comes up from time to time. And I keep on asking spirit sometimes, like, is this ever gonna be over? Like, is my body ever gonna do okay with eating certain things, right? And so far, like, I've gotten certain answers clarified when it comes to that, but it's almost kind of like that energy. Something ends abruptly, or maybe ended through a period of time and you didn't realize that it ended until it ended and it tries to come back in. So this could have been a falling out, right? Where you may have had a friend that you spoke to all the time, and then all of a sudden it became like once a month, then it became once every 2 months, and it became once every year, or once every 2 years, or once every, and then it's like it gets to the point where you haven't heard from this person in like 2 or 3 years, and all of a sudden they're trying to come back in, and it's like maybe this was a friend or a person that it was always like a one-sided relationship where you were the one always giving to the situation, or they would only call you when they had problems, and spirit is like, you know what, don't even allow that back into your life. This is why gradually, or why so abruptly, that connection had to end, because there was no equal give and take within a situation. And whether that's with a friend, whether that's with an ex, or whatever it is, the energy of the person like trying to come back in, or the specific energy of something trying to come back in, is what your challenge is this week. So you're challenging an energy of something that wants to return from the past, whether it is a person, whether it is a behavior, whether it is a pattern, whether it is a belief, regardless of whatever it is like you notice it trying to come back in, but it's almost like the reminder, or remember the pain, or remember the lesson that this taught you. We have the Three of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. Remember what this taught you. Remember how you felt when you were within that situation, right? Remember what happened. Remember how it felt to be in that situation, whether it was a person, whether it was that you were depressed, whether it was that you were angry, whatever it was. Remember how destructive that energy was, and allow that to be your, how can I put it, like your support to say no to something, right? So very simple. There's a lot of things that I do that I really don't talk about, right? I do something called free bleeding, and it's not based on the movement. I started this way before the movement, and it's for medical reasons, right? And a lot of the things that I did because I've had medical issues that lead me to do certain things, because traditional things or traditional medicine or whatever have backfired when it comes to certain things. And with the eating, with everything like that, when I feel tempted, I quickly go into this place of like, okay, how does my body feel? Because we're not talking about just having, excuse me, an upset stomach when I eat animal products. We're talking about, it's literally an entire body, mind and soul, it's spirit, emotions, like everything in me changes, and everything in me becomes completely unbalanced. So having a cheeseburger, let's put it this way, is not worth the consequences of what I'm gonna have to deal with for the next week or two, because it's not something that just goes away. It's like literally I don't know what spirit is doing with me at this time, and I'm being completely honest, and I'm not ashamed to say it. But there's something where I'm not supposed to be consuming animal products, and the difference that I feel within my physical self, right? My physical body and my energy and my emotions and the clarity of my mind and everything is completely different than when I allow myself the temptation of eating animal products. So it's kind of like that energy where something may be coming in and may be very tempting because it's something that it's familiar, is maybe something that you did for a very long time, maybe somebody that you were with for a very long time. And the temptation definitely is going to be there, but you have to decide if giving into that temptation is worth the consequences that is going to come with it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull out an oracle card. Now this can be your confirmation, your advice, or something that you need to know that you're not aware of. And this is kind of funny. Communication is key. The new moon in Gemini. So communication with yourself, being completely honest with you. Can you bear the consequences of going back to something? Can you bear the consequences of going back with somebody from your past? Can you bear the consequences of taking a step back? Because ultimately, whatever this energy is that you are seeing coming forth, right, and you're resisting it, or you're ready trying, like you have a game plan, right, as to how to deal with this temptation. But when is in front of you, are you really going to walk away from it, or are you going to give into that temptation? And this communication is not about communication with anybody else. It is about communication with yourself. And are you honoring what you committed to yourself? Well, guys, that is all I have for you for this week. As always, thank you for your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. Thank you to all of those that have been donating. It is greatly appreciated. And if you have not liked, share, or subscribed, I encourage you to do so. It helps with growing the channel, getting the video out there for more people, as well as keeping me accountable. For personal readings, all that information can be found down below in the description. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing. Guys, take care. Mwah! Love you all. Bye-bye.